way back in 2014, Daimler, the German company that owns among other brands Mercedes-Benz and the Smart family of cars, hit the headlines when it sold the 4% stake it had in Tesla for an estimated $780 million. At that point, the two companies had enjoyed a 5-year partnership which had seen Tesla develop electric drivetrains for various iterations of smart cars, as well as design, build and supply electric drivetrains for the Mercedes-Benz B-Class Electric Drive, or B-Class ED for short. Even though Daimler sold its stock, however, it continued to rely on Tesla to produce electric drivetrains and battery packs for the B-Class ED until it phased out the car at the middle of last year. These two actions, selling Tesla stock and eventually ending production of the B-Class ED, led many to claim that Daimler wasn't interested in electric cars, despite Smart becoming an all-electric brand in many markets at the end of last year, and Mercedes promising a new range of all-electric models that would be coming to market very soon. In the last few years, however, Mercedes-Benz has even launched its own sub-brand exclusively for electric cars, prepared production facilities for increased battery pack and drivetrain production, and shown us several EQ-branded concept cars as part of a planned $12 billion investment in EVs. Today, we got to see what the first of those new EQ vehicles would look like in the form of the production launch of the Mercedes-Benz EQC 400 4MATIC. It's a fully electric C-Class SUV that will be going on sale as a 2019 model year in the coming months. And I've got to say, it's not a bad-looking car, placing its design somewhere in between a more traditional Mercedes-Benz SUV and the more futuristic design of the EQC and EQA concept cars that we've been seeing in recent months. So what's the EQC like and how will it fit into the marketplace? Moreover, will it be a car that sells? Let's deal with what we know of the specs first. Like most modern luxury electric cars, Tesla, the upcoming Porsche Taycan and the soon-to-launch Audi e-tron, the Mercedes-Benz EQC is an all-wheel drive car. That's why it has 4MATIC in its official name. There's a pair of electric motors, one per axle, delivering a total of around 402 horsepower, which is why there's a 400 in the car's name. That, if you were wondering, translates to just about 300 kilowatts, which puts it in line with some of the other all-wheel drive models coming to market in the not-too-distant future. The battery pack, meanwhile, is made by Mercedes-Benz battery subsidiary ecoMotive and is rated at 80 kilowatt-hours. Mercedes-Benz says it can be charged at 7.4 kilowatts from the car's onboard charger, or overnight if you're not into kilowatts, and from 10% full to 80% full in around 40 minutes from a compatible 110 kilowatt CCS quick charge station. As it's an SUV, the EQC doesn't have the best fuel efficiency out there, with provisional figures from Mercedes-Benz suggesting a range of around 200 miles, 322 kilometres per charge, averaging 2.8 miles per kilowatt-hour or 22.2 kilowatt-hours per 100 kilometres. The standard sprint time is just under 5 seconds. Although the EQC isn't going to win fuel economy figures, Mercedes-Benz has designed the EQC with customizable regenerative braking on throttle liftoff via a pair of paddles on the steering wheel. This offers everything from standard ICE-like throttle liftoff as well as coasting to high regen single pedal mode, as well as a very clever mode called D-Auto. In this mode, the car dynamically controls regenerative braking for you, maximising your car's regen braking potential based on the road ahead and other factors. It does this by utilising the same onboard sensors it uses for its active distance assist Distronic and active steering assist semi-autonomous features. If the car detects someone in front, it dials up the regenerative braking, especially if the vehicle in front is slowing down. If it detects a stoplight or stop sign, it does the same thing. But if it's a nice rolling hill and there's nobody around, it adjusts to less aggressive regenerative braking or perhaps even coasting mode on liftoff. With all of the standard luxury trim items you'd find in any modern Benz, including a very large full digital dashboard, the EQC is certainly going to fit into Mercedes' own luxury car market segment as an alternative for its internal combustion engine vehicles. There are also some new features such as the Hey Mercedes voice-activated natural language interface inside the car and an adaptive artificial intelligence system that gets to know your regular routes and patterns, much like the latest smartphones do, as well as an integrated in-car system for locating and paying for charging. Benz says the interior is whisper quiet, and if it's like any other Mercedes-Benz I've been in recently, then, well, I see no reason to doubt that assertion. It is perhaps then a good point to note here where the EQC will likely fit into the market. Unlike the Tesla Model S, Model X and Model 3, which tend to sell a very tech-focused, bleeding-edge way to get into the EV market, the EQC seems to be going after a more refined, maybe more conventional ownership experience, where the fuel the car uses is almost an afterthought to all of the other things that might attract a buyer, because everything else is fairly familiar. Tesla has absolutely killed it in the luxury car market in the last few years, and it's stolen a large amount of market share from the likes of Mercedes-Benz, Audi, Porsche and BMW. The EQC is Mercedes-Benz' first attempt at fighting that, and based on the specs and what I've seen of the car, it certainly stands a chance of doing that. Yes, Tesla has the supercharger network and autopilot, and Mercedes-Benz is going for its luxury feel, high build quality, and its own advanced safety systems. They're not called autopilot, but they do appear to offer autopilot-like semi-autonomous assistance features. But while the EQC and the Model X won't cross-shop, there's no price released for the EQC right now, but I'm guessing it will come in at a Jaguar I-Pace price in order to be competitive. This is yet another vehicle which I think will liven up the market and earn some significant interest from conventional non-EV fan buyers. It's worth noting too that the EQC is the first of 10 new all-electric models Mercedes-Benz is bringing to market, all of which will be launched in the next 3.5 years. At that kind of pace of introduction and the kind of investment Daimler is ploughing into EVs, things could get very, very competitive and very interesting indeed. Yes, Tesla turned the world onto electric cars, and yes, Tesla is the reason companies like Daimler are investing so heavily into the market. Daimler's CEO even praised Tesla during the EQC launch. But unless Tesla can match the kind of production goals that some of its rivals are spinning up, and the kind of relentless model introduction that I'm seeing, well, I could see Tesla losing some of its market dominance. Well, that's it. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.